Which A-listers are secretly restoring their hair and which ones are embracing their baldness? Today I'm going to break down Hollywood's hair loss secrets. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Robin, this is Man From Self. If you like grooming content, so I'm talking hair, skincare, fragrance, hair loss, hair styling, street scent, street style, then please do press subscribe right now. Now, the landscape of hair, hair loss, and the conversation around it has totally changed over the past couple of years. And this is all about confidence. Whether you're a guy that wants to hold on to your hair, or wants to embrace the baldness, or wants a hair transplant, or wants to try treatments, it's totally up to you. Now, the first celeb that I've got up is LeBron James, who has kind of semi-confirmed it, but with jokes. He's never outrightly said he's had a hair transplant, but there is speculation that he's used treatments from fibers which just are little powders that go into the hairline to make them look slightly thicker, especially if you've got a little bald patch on the crown. Just a dash of those fibers in that will make the hair look instantly thicker. There's also speculation that he might have used some injectables to make that hair look thicker and fuller, but what we're seeing in pictures is that hairline and the thickness of hair has definitely changed over the years. The Rock is a celebrity who has definitely embraced his baldness, and really it's become his signature look. When you think about him and the roles that he's played, he's always been this super strong, masculine character. There's something in this sort of Hollywood narrative of younger stars, thinking sort of Disney princess, thick, full head of hair, slightly older, stronger, more masculine stars being bald. This really is changing. It shouldn't necessarily be right, but he is someone that has embraced this and really made it work. In an interview, he did say that he tried to grow his hair out, but it was just a pain to manage. It's great seeing a celebrity like him who is embracing it and really making it work for him. Not all celebrities are turning to what probably is the most extreme, a hair transplant, and one is Jonas. Now, in interviews, he has spoken about having injectables straight into the scalp to make that hair grow thicker and fuller. And if you are looking for hair loss treatments, then I am working with Sons, and I can give you 30% off their ultimate plan with code MFH30. In the ultimate plan, you get Minoxidil, so a topical spray onto the scalp morning and at night. It's to push the hair follicles into a growth phase. There's the strengthening shampoo, so a DHT-blocking shampoo, which might help to regrow hair, really again to create those optimal conditions for hair growth, and the multivitamins. Now, again, everything will be linked down below, but I love that when I put out a newsletter, a couple of weeks ago actually, I had a lot of replies, some saying this is great, I'm going to try it, some saying no, we should be embracing the baldness. So this is this video here. It is all about choice. Wayne Rooney, for me, completely changed the landscape. Now, in his early 20s, he was starting to lose his hair, and by age 25, he'd had a hair transplant. And not only did he have a hair transplant, but he confirmed publicly via Twitter that he'd had a hair transplant. I remember actually at this time because there was so much speculation online and in magazines and in newspapers, and these people were just really going for him, but he just owned it. You know, he tweeted saying, just to confirm, I've had a hair transplant at age 25 and why not? And that's the exact thing. Why the hell not? Prince William is probably one of the most high profile celebrities / royals in the world, and when he was younger, I remember that whole sort of narrative and the stories around him were how handsome he was, how much like Diana he was. And then he started to lose his hair, and that narrative slightly shifted. Now, this is the whole sort of Hollywood hair, real obsession, that hair, big, full, glossy hair, says something about who we are, how masculine we are, how virile we are, how strong we are, how confident, how handsome we are. Now, again, he is one of those many men that could have turned to treatments, but instead has embraced it. And actually, it's really great to see. Tyga is someone whose hairline rapidly changed after 2017. And in 2018, he confirmed it in a roundabout way and in a pretty humorous way by tweeting, @ing his hair transplant surgeon and saying, "Tell him Tyga sent you." Now, again, this is a really different way of doing it, but you can see in the pictures how it's changed. And again, someone who has just embraced it. Bruce Willis is yet another action star, perhaps really showing a theme here. In order to be an action star, you need to be bald. I don't know, comment down below. But from the late 80s, he started to recede, and then into the 2000s, he really had lost all his hair. You can see in pictures that perhaps the confidence wasn't so much there when he was receding, when the hair was thinning. He was wearing a lot of caps. Then into the noughties, when he shaved his head, he just embraced it. Elon Musk has never confirmed publicly that he's had a hair transplant. But looking at the 90s pictures to the pictures from now, his hair is much thicker and much fuller. Back in the 90s, it was receding, it was thinning. So this has led to speculation by hair loss experts that he has maybe had one or multiple hair transplants. Again, it's just speculation, so don't come for me. Cheyenne Jackson has publicly shared his hair transplant journey. He has had 5 hair transplants across 14 years. And really, when you look at the sort of roles that he plays, he still has this sort of romantic heartthrob, sort of, I suppose, quite typecast. Now, could this have been what would have been for someone like Bruce Willis or Jason Statham, The Rock, perhaps, if they really sort of went down that hair transplant route? Stanley Tucci is very much proof that style and baldness can go hand in hand. You know, when you think about him, maybe doing his Instagram videos, creating an old-fashioned or some sort of martini, he is smooth and he is iconic, and being bald has certainly not stopped him. In an interview, he spoke out when he started to go bald, and in his 30s, he just decided to shave it off. I love, again, confidence is key. Joel McHale started losing his hair as a teenager, and in a podcast interview, he admitted to having 3 hair transplants, commenting that the technology now is bananas. David Beckham is one of the most pictured stars in the world. He was the guy who really created this metrosexual movement. Really straight guys who decide to look after themselves and perhaps wear sarong or have long hair. What I love about what David Beckham did was he again changed the narrative about men looking after themselves and having treatments. Now, has he had anything done? We don't know publicly, but when he was asked in an interview about men having things done, he said he has no issue with it to boost confidence. But when we look at pictures of him, we can see through the years his hair started to get a little bit more fine and thin. He then went through a period of wearing his trademark cap, and then his hair was thicker again. So, has he had something done? Perhaps. Now, Bobby Berk, who was in Queer Eye, didn't just stop at a hair transplant, and in 2019 he tweeted to say he tried a combination of different things, including sprays, oral tablets, vitamins, injectables, all to keep his hair looking thicker and fuller. Now, unlike other celebrities who have shied away from saying anything or maybe just pretended nothing has happened, Bobby has been very open in saying what he's had done. Hair loss affects millions of men, but it is changing, and I'm talking changing in terms of technologies, to the conversations and to the stigma around hair loss. What I love, and especially with this man for himself and talking to you guys, is the open conversation that guys are having. You know, saying that they will try something or they have tried something. If you have tried something, let me know. What have you had done? Has it worked? Would you recommend it to someone? Comment down below. I just love that we're far more open in discussing these things. And again, MFH30 for 30% off the Sun's Ultimate Plan all there. I'll link it all down below. But thank you very much for allowing this conversation. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you've still not pressed subscribe, then hey, come on, press subscribe right now. But until my next new video, bye-bye.